It is the second day of May 2023. A very good evening to you and welcome to Hope TV Newswatch. My name is Kennedy Kimani and assisting the sign language interpretation tonight is Boniface Morithi. Now, former Sitam Bishop Dr. David Oginde is set to be sworn in as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission chairman for a 6-year term. This follows a gazettement of his appointment by President William Ruto. The appointment comes after the National Assembly approved the nomination of Dr. Oginde to chair the anti-graft body last month. The Sitam Bishop Emeritus, whose nomination came on the recommendation of the Public Service Commission, will take over the chairmanship of the anti-graft agency following the retirement of former ACK Archbishop Dr. Eliud Bukala, who served a full 6-year term as the EACC chair. Dr. Oginde has acknowledged the difficult task ahead but pledged to do all he can to help the country fight corruption.
The role of the chair and the commission, which under normal circumstances we call a board, is to provide a right working environment through which the management team can do their work. We are supposed to provide direction in which way we should be going. We are supposed to provide policies and principles that can help implement our mission and mandate. We are supposed to provide oversight, bringing in accountability of the team that is there so that everything is being done according to what we desire. And then to build a cohesive spirit between these two teams, both what let me call it the board for now for ordinary language, but in our case it's called the commission. The truth does not lie in between. It is in either side. And that's how, therefore, people begin to believe that I can be corrupt and get away with it. Because when we see these kinds of things happening, we need to, as a commission, when we take over a case, that case be thoroughly investigated with facts and figures, so that by the time a case is being prosecuted, it is hopefully a watertight case, where there are real facts, there are real figures that can get this case through. We need to focus on high-level corruption in order for us to really tackle this.
We wish Dr. Oginde all the best as he takes the new role as the EACC chairman. And to some politics now, and after a day of staging anti-government protests, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition now says it will resume the demos on Thursday this week. Speaking after staging the demonstrations, Na Kenya party leader Martha Karua said the protest will be based on the same petition that the opposition has had against the government. Karua at the same time has also defended fellow Azimio leaders who failed to show up during the protest, claiming that the government had ordered the immediate withdrawal of security details of the party leaders as well as those of other elected leaders in Azimio.
We wanted to petition that office to desist from destroying political parties. And I've emphasized because we are saying there is an illegitimate regime. We separate the office from persons. The third office we were to visit is the National Treasury, where we wanted to petition for the immediate release of all funds owed to counties and for the timely payment of salaries to all civil servants. The fourth office we were to visit is the Public Service Commission, where we planned to demand that appointments to public offices be done purely on merit and inclusivity, not tribe, as is presently the case. Despite these developments, we are energized that Kenyans are determined to claim their country. We are marching on. Tomorrow we take a break, strategize and recharge. Our protests will resume on Thursday, the 4th of May. Same meeting, same offices, same petition, same people.
Now, following the resumption of the Azimio protest on Tuesday, businessmen in Nairobi have expressed their disappointment in the exercise that has seen most of their shops remain closed. Although the demonstrations in Nairobi were cut short by police officers, the traders have noted that business operations have been affected largely by the tension that has prevailed in the city. They now want the government to intervene and hold talks with the opposition to give a lasting solution and address the issues affecting Kenyans.
Naona hii maandamano ina affect. Kwa sababu ukiangalia kama Nairobi watu wamefugua, lakini movement ya customer hakuna. So mimi ningesema hii maandamano kwanza itulie. Kama ni maelewano waelewane, ndio customer waanze kuingia Nairobi kama kawaida.
Serikali imefanya vizuri kusimamisha hii maandamano, lakini duka zote zimefunguliwa, hakuna kasi. Sisi tunafanyanga kwa hizo manduka. Lakini hakuna wadhi tunapeleka. Sasa hiyo maandamano ni kama inasaidia lakini haisaidii.
Sisi tunataka amani. Ili hii amani sisi tupatiwe time ya kufanya kazi. Sababu hatujaiona mtu ameenda maandamano akatuletea unga ya nyumba. Hata ile unga tunasema imepungua hatujailetewa. Lakini ile kitu tunasema sisi kama Wakenya wa chini hatupiganii unga peke yake. Sisi tunapigania marekebisho ingine. Tunataka president yetu apewe time arekebishe, tumpe time alete chini.
Kasa hii hakuna customers. Yaani biashara iko tu chini kabisa, Mimi ningeomba serikali ingilie kati iweze at least waweze kusolve hii maneno ndo biashara zetu ziweze kuenda kulingana vile inafaa.
Maandamano imetuaffect kabisa sisi kama wanabiashara, sababu hata ukiangalia flow ya watu, hakuna town, watu wamekuwa wachache, hakuna watu wanaingia town, kuna mali magari ya zingi town kumefungwa na ni ya maandamano. So kitu tunaweza sema serikali kae chini, waongee, wapate suluhisho, mambo back to normal, hatutaki maandamano.
Mahali tunaelekea, tafadhali baba tungekuomba hii maandamano iishe. Juu hata ukiangalia kazi ya leo, kazi imekuwa chini sana.
Hii maandamano ya kuenda kwa barabara kuchoma, na ndio unaona watu mpaka saa hizi wako na uoga wa kufungua biashara zao. Kwa sababu unastukia watu wanakuja wanachoma gari, alafu na hiyo mtu ni pesa yake amewekelea. Unaona kama ataleta biashara yake. Na ndio unaona hata sisi tunajikaza, tunakaa hivyo vile kumekaa hivi, tukae ngumu kwa sababu hatuna mwelekeo, tutakula nini.
Now, the bipartisan talks between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio have run into a complication after Kenya Kwanza accused Azimio of disinterest. Speaking in a press address at the Parliament buildings on Tuesday, the Raka MP George Murugara challenged Azimio for holding protest amid the bipartisan talks.
If they insist that they will be demonstrating as we talk, then it defeats the purpose. Because these talks were called for because of the ongoing demonstrations that were in the streets. So we will be emphasizing, as talks go on, there must be a suspension, there must be a cancellation of all demonstrations of whatever kind which touch on what we have on the table. Where an issue comes to the table and any of the members is conflicted, Kenya Kwanza has committed to recuse that person so that you do not get involved in a matter where you are directly conflicted. This is what we are also calling upon them to do.
And still matters bipartisan talks, and the Council of Governors have chosen Bungoma Governor Kenneth Lusaka to spearhead the talks between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. According to the Council of Governors chairperson Anwe Guru, Lusaka will be among 10 other governors who are expected to engage leaders from the two political divides in a bid to end the political impasse currently being witnessed in the country.
The Council of Governors prides itself in being a non-partisan institution that speaks in one voice. In this regard, the Council notes with concern that the ongoing conflict between the two political divides that continues to have a negative impact on counties. To this end, we have formed a 10-member committee comprising of the Council Executive Committee, which is the chairperson of the Council, Governor Anne Waiguru, the Vice Chair, Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, and the Whip, Governor Stephen Sang, and 7 governors, namely Governor Kenneth Lusaka, Governor Fatuma Achani, Governor Mutahi Kahiga, Governor Simba Arati, Governor Joseph Olelenko, Governor Wavinya Ndeti, and Governor Ochilo Ayako. And the purpose of the committee will be to engage the leaders from the two political divides to address the ongoing demonstrations and amicable solutions to ensure stability in the country.
As the Council of Governors, we are stakeholders and leaders in this country. And we also realize the economic situation we're in and the effort that the Treasury team is putting to try and get things stabilized. But markets are driven by perception. Markets are driven by perception. Much as we put pressure on Treasury to raise money, as a country, we shouldn't be making it difficult for them to do so. And this is why we are willing to engage both sides of the divide. We are bipartisan, almost in half in representation between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza in this council. So we believe that when people talk, solutions are found, and we want to be part of finding that solution. We want to be part of the process of finding that solution.
Now, the wrangles in the former ruling Jubilee Party seems to be far from over. This is after a faction of Jubilee Party led by Yala Member of Parliament Kanini Kega claimed to have ousted former President Uhuru Kenyatta as its party leader. In a statement dated the 2nd of May 2023, Kanini Kega claimed that Kenyatta ceased to hold office in March. According to Kega, the constitution does not allow a retired president to hold office in any political party for more than 6 months. The faction has now named nominated Member of Parliament Sabina Chege as the acting Jubilee Party leader.
By operation of Section 6(1) of the Presidential Retirement Benefit Act, which requires that a retired president shall not hold any office in any political party for more than 6 months after ceasing to hold office as president, the former party leader ceased to hold office as the party leader of Jubilee in March 2023. Therefore, any communication from him cannot bind the party and is of no legal consequence. In light of the above, this meeting has made the following resolutions: that the notice issued by the former party leader purporting to convene an NDC on the 22nd of May 2023 is hereby suspended, and the matter is referred to the Internal Dispute Resolution Committee for their further action. That the office of the party leader of Jubilee Party is hereby declared vacant. 7, that pending the convening of the Special National Delegates Convention, the Honorable Sabina Chege will be the acting party leader of Jubilee Party.
And with that, you take a short news break. We still have more news. See you on the other side.
Family Discipleship Conference 2023 is here. Tune in on Hope TV from this Wednesday, 3rd May of 2023 to Saturday, 6th of May, as we bring to you this life transforming conference. The keynote speakers will be Sitting Presiding Bishop Reverend Callisto Udede, Pastor Kinsley, and Pastor Mildred Okonkwo from Nigeria. The theme of the conference is The Choice. Also be sure to follow us on our online platforms, Hope TV, Look and Live.
Thank you for watching Hope TV, the station where you look and live. For feedback regarding our programming, you can WhatsApp us through 0708 222 323, SMS 22232, website www.hopemediakenya.org, or scan the QR code below.
Welcome back. Now, controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie was on Tuesday released from police custody, only to be arrested shortly after his arraignment before a Malindi court, along with 6 others. The alleged Shakahola massacre mastermind will now appear at the Shanzu court alongside his co-accused. Mackenzie has been accused of manipulating people through skewed extreme religious teachings and fear of the unknown in pursuit of salvation, leading to the deaths of many of his followers. Moving on, and the government has ordered an immediate deployment of anti-stock theft police unit in the counties of Meru and Isiolo North so as to tame the wave of cattle rustling. Speaking in Meru County, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki declared the Meru North region a security operations zone similar to the North Rift, where a multi-agency team is waging war against banditry.
Ninataka nitangaze operation maalum ya kukabiliana na wezi wa ng'ombe ambao na wezi wa mifugo ambao wanatatiza watu katika sehemu hii ya Meru, sana sana Meru kaskazini. This area is now essentially a security operation.
Now, the 4th International Parliamentarians Conference on the Promotion of Freedom of Religion or Belief has kicked off today in Nairobi. The conference is aimed at equipping lawmakers to respond to new challenges and trends in the field of freedom of religion or belief globally.
It is the first time that it is being held in the African continent, and we are privileged to have had it held in Kenya. And like I said to them in the opening remarks, they could not have chosen a better place for this particular conference. Kenya is the one country that public schools teach religious education. They teach Hindu religious education, they teach Christian religious education, they teach Islamic religious education. Kenya is the only country where the Interreligious Faith Council, the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, the National Council of Churches actually participate not only in constitution-making processes, but also participate in the appointments of various commissioners of independent commissions.
As network of parliamentarians, want to defend that freedom of belief in religion, because it's fundamental that people are free and expressing their personal faith like other human rights, to assembly together, to have their own opinion and expression. All these are expression of the unique and equal dignity of every human being.
We know that freedom of religion and belief is restricted in many countries in the world. 85% of world population lives in countries with high restrictions on freedom of religion and belief. And the situation is actually going in the wrong direction for the last decade. It has grown from 40 countries who had high restrictions into 52 countries. So we need to step up to work to promote freedom of religion and belief for all globally. Here today, over 50 parliamentarians from over 30 countries are gathered to discuss, to have how to move forward, but also to sign the Nairobi Declaration that will be signed later today and tomorrow.
President William Ruto has urged warring parties in Sudan to cease hostilities and give dialogue a chance. Speaking during the official launch of the State of Migration in East and the Horn of Africa, President Ruto said the generals involved in the war will be accountable for the loss of lives and property. Sudan's Army General Abdel Burhan and Rapid Support Forces Commander Mohamed Dagalo are fighting over the leadership of the country.
Many of us are seized with the challenge that we have in Sudan at the moment, and as a region, and as a continent, and as a people, our message to the generals in Sudan is clear and unequivocal. They have no business whatsoever destroying the hard-earned years, many years, of developing Sudan. The bombing of buildings, hospitals, and infrastructure is unacceptable. Those generals have no business, they have no reason destroying a country that has been built painstakingly by the people of this continent, by our brothers and sisters in Sudan, and we will hold them accountable. They have absolutely no reason to destroy people's business, people's livelihoods, cause unnecessary chaos and mayhem when the quarrel can be solved by dialogue, by a conversation, and we are determined to stop our continent from the slide into military rule. This continent is ready, and we are prepared as the people of this continent to build our democratic institutions and to get the people of this continent to choose the government they want. The era of military rule, the era of dictatorships is behind us.
Moving on, and health workers in the country are set to benefit from a labor migration framework that the government is developing with Canada in efforts to ensure more Kenyans are eligible for skilled jobs in Canada. Speaking during a meeting with Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly, President William Ruto stated that training for health workers from the Kenya Medical Training College will be aligned with the Canadian curricula to respond to the demands of the job market.
We must support the Sudanese people in these dire times. Without access to food or water, we must support UN relief efforts and ensure unhindered humanitarian access to Sudan. The UN must be able to do its work. The Kenyan government is working to respond to humanitarian needs in the region, and it is leading efforts to find a peaceful solution to the conflict, both on a bilateral basis and also through IGAD, which is extremely important. And so this work is crucial. And today, my message to Secretary Mutua and also to the President was simple: Kenya can count on Canada. And when there's crisis, well, Canada is there and we step up.
Our relationship is based on several pillars. You know, we've got sustainable economy, we've got issues of trade that are very key, and we have discussed together with Melanie, Waziri Melanie, and also with the President about how Kenyans can benefit, and we'll be discussing a framework. Leaders must learn to respect democratic outcomes. An election has winners and losers. That is why it's an election. You don't go for an election expecting that you must win. You know, chances of losing are 50-50. You lose, some win. And countries and the international community should send, and we are requesting as Kenya, that yourself as Canada and the other international players should send a strong signal and message to people who disrupt democracy.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. Let's get down to business. The Kenyan shilling has hit a new record low of 136.02 against the US dollar. According to the Central Bank of Kenya data, the Kenyan shilling slipped from an average 135.9 on Monday evening to the new rate on Tuesday. This will have great effect on importers as they will spend more on importing goods as raw materials for factories, thereby raising the cost of inputs for farms, which in turn pass the additional expenses to consumers. The depreciation of the shilling is also said to increase electricity prices through higher forex levies on power bills, further reflecting the impact of the strengthening dollar on household budgets. Moving on, and manufacturers have been urged to promote gender equality and women workers' welfare in an increasingly competitive world. Speaking during the first ever Gender in Manufacturing Forum hosted by the Kenya Association of Manufacturers in partnership with IDH Kenya, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Labor and Social Protection, Geoffrey Kaituko, appreciated the importance of a skilled workforce in the manufacturing sector.
We want to work with the goal to have gender equitable access to opportunities. We want men and women to have the same opportunities. We want men and women to have agency in decision making. And we want men and women to have control.
We apologize for the mix-up of the stories. And Australia's flagship carrier, Qantas Airways, has today named Finance Chief Vanessa Hudson as its next Chief Executive Officer, making her the first woman to lead the century-old airline. Hudson will in November take over from Alan Joyce, whose 15 years in the job has made him the longest-serving CEO of a major Australian company and a towering figure in the global aviation industry. Hudson's appointment makes her one of the few female executives leading a major company in Australia. And to some sporting action now, and the stage is set for the showdown between Karl Flash Tundo, a multiple-time Kenyan rally champion, and Baldev Chagar, a veteran rally driver and also multiple Kenya national rally champion and three-time East Africa Classic winner, as they compete for the top spot on the 4th edition of the RX Rally Cross. The event will take place on the 6th and 7th of May at the People's Park in Machakos.